Hey everybody, Mntdewmania here. Welcome back to Building with me. Um I've laid out some more squares of different things, trees, gardens. There's a reason for this. It'll show up in a different video, but um and I've added some different kinds of walls. I'm going to add some more walls here. But today I wanted to talk about building directions. And I don't mean like how to. I mean building up, building down, building side to side. But most of all, I wanted to talk about building flat versus building on rugged terrain, hilly terrain, any kind of terrain besides flat terrain. Now, I am, we all know this if you've watched me long enough, I am not a good builder. Um, I tend to, when I build, the first thing I do is I want to flatten stuff out. I want to start with a smooth, clean, flat place to build. We all know my OCDness gets in my way a lot of times when I'm trying to build stuff. Um, this tree house that Robert Willows built me, I struggle building stuff like this because there are no straight lines. There are a couple straight lines, but to me, this is both fascinating and beautiful and a little uncomfortable, which is why I like it so much. Uh, because it's total chaos, but at the same time, it absolutely works. There's little hidden places and different textures and different colors, and it's wild and free and crazy to me. Okay. Whereas I like straight walls and all the textures the same, because to me, that is very soothing. I pick certain colors that I like. Palettes, we've been talking about that. And for the most part, I usually build with stone, brick, and birch planks, and I build on a flat surface. So if you're keeping up with my Hillbilly Island um, series, which I hope you are, I decided on this crazy little cove. It is just nothing but jagged hills everywhere, cliffs, and some jungle trees, and there's not really that much flat land to it. And I had to really stop myself from flattening everything out. I flattened out my garden, and I'm already regretting that because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with the different levels and kind of make a garden that was random and up and down, and I did it before I even thought about it. So that is what I'm trying to make myself do in Hillbilly Island is I went up in a treehouse. That is something I usually do not do. I don't like jungles. You guys know this because they are so busy and crazy and cluttered and chaotic. And that's one of the reasons I kind of am glad that that map won. Um, Jungle wood is not really one of my favorites, but I'm trying to use different woods, um, and now I'm trying to build different levels. So I built a treehouse, a multi-layered treehouse with on several trees. It was very hard for me not to level off a level of leaves to make it level with the next tree. I had to really struggle to do that. So that's what I think I'm going to do with this little island over here. we're going to talk about, I think on this little island, I'm going to try not to smooth out really much of anything because I want walls all around this, right? And but the top is sort of kind of smooth. So I want to look at something. All these little islands are really going to come in handy. I want to look at something like building on this because there's no way I'm going to be able to do straight lines. And yeah, I can take off a couple of levels, but I don't want to flatten all of it. So let's say that I have given myself permission. Okay, so I can use my favorite brick, right? Let's say that I can do that. And I can use my favorite wood, which is birch. So what I've got to quit doing is just making everything flat. Let's say that I just cut off like the top right here. I've said, okay, you can do 2 or 3 levels, but that's it. And you've got to work with everything else to make you some sort of base right here. You cannot just keep cutting everything down and making it flat, right? So usually stuff like this really stresses me out because I want to fill in all these and make it square. I even want to chop this one off, but I'm going to try not to. So what I've got to learn to do is use different blocks. Let's see. Whoop. Like I'm learning to use cracked and stone. Slabs are an issue with me, simply because they make things unflat for me. You know what I'm saying? So so what I need to learn to do, first of all, is even if I do, let's say I want to do just a tower up. I want this to be a tower up here. Eventually it's going to be a tower, right? So instead of filling in all this and making it level so I can just build across, I've got to learn to go with the terrain. I've got to learn that it's okay if things are not level. I've got to learn that it's okay if that block is there. So this is where I've got to learn that my wall really doesn't have to be smooth all the way up. I can incorporate different levels. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you this is already stressing me out. Um, I don't think people really appreciate how much stuff like this. But then you ask me, well, why do you even bother playing Minecraft if it stresses you out so much? Because I find Minecraft very soothing. So let's say I wanted to do something like this, right? So already I want to not put anything but, yeah, I mean, you're watching me do it. You're seeing me. I don't want to put anything but the smooth brick, okay? So I'm just going to have to teach myself to go with, you know, it's hard for me to really do this. I'm telling y'all, it stresses me out to leave gaps and pieces of, why do I have to do that? Why does it, it just stresses me. Um, so I've got to learn that it's okay to not have everything, you know what I'm saying, even. I've got, even just doing this random little line like this, it kind of, it's, to me, it's very chaotic. So I've got to learn that. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that I can't fill in places, right? I can. So, but, and then part of me looks at it and goes, okay, well, I mean, that's not horrible, right? I mean, look how nice that kind of, you know. So then I think to myself, okay, I'm going to put a step there. I'm going to put a slab there. Now it's kind of, you know. So then I think to myself, okay, take a deep breath. You can do this. And I'm going to put a cracked one there. Or down at the water line where the water hits the stone, why don't I put a mossy one? Okay. I think the thing that bothers me the most is there's not really a shape to this. Now, I can go ahead and let's say I want to, I can have a straight line here. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. And then where is my main living going to be? So it's going to be somewhere in here, right? So I've got to, let's see, do that, a little of that. And hopefully inside, because I don't want to touch it out there, what if inside though, I say it's okay because these lines aren't going to be seen out here, right? So this is how I'm going to shape my rooms. The inside or the outside is still crazy and, you know, for me, just insanity. But out here, you know, is not in here. In here, I have to have, you got to have living space, right? So you just make it, there's my steps coming in. So let's say I want to do, we can cut off a little bit more, and we're going to have right here, okay? And then up here's a step, here's a step, and now I kind of have an idea where I want my stuff to be, right? We go right over here, I can go ahead and do that, that's fine. And then we'll do this right here, okay? Now we have sort of something to work with. It's crazy and uneven, okay? So I can put like a step here and a slab here, and let's put that there, okay? Good, good. I'm not panicking. We'll put that there, all right? And then we might put one there, one there. So it still looks chaotic. I have worked with the terrain, okay? I've chipped off a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I've left it crazy. So this is what I have to learn to do. I have to learn that it's okay not to have just boring blank walls. It's okay to actually come out here. I mean, I can put me some cracked in here. And, I mean, even if I come all the way down with nothing but brick, as long as I don't, okay, as long as I don't go crazy, right, and just keep it all smooth. Now here comes the part, let's say I do just some stone, okay? Let's say, no, not that stone, let's do, can I do smooth stone? I don't know. This to me is just too much of a wow, that looks crazy. But I mean, with that trim around it, it doesn't look horrible. It's just that I'm not comfortable doing that. But on the other hand, it looks like I have patched up old worn out stone with it. So part of me is like, okay, maybe I can do that. Maybe I've patched up. I had to patch up a step right there because it's went bad, you know? So, and I'm going to, what if I leave those oars there? That's not anything that I would usually do. So, as I build this up, I mean, now I can see actual, you know, rooms happening. Okay? I mean, I can see like a little room here. It'd go into like another little room here. And I might even build on up and have like a tower back here in the back. So, yeah, this is what I have to learn to do. I need to learn to work with the terrain. Instead of smoothing everything off and making straight lines, I've got to learn to calm the chaos. Um, I've got to learn it is okay to not have nothing but straight lines everywhere. I mean, I can even be brave and think to myself, wow, okay, there's nothing holding that up. I'm going to panic. I don't like that. Um, what if there isn't? I mean, what if I had to build something to hold it up, right? Um, I might had to build braces at the bottom. So that is a big thing for me. Thinking outside the box that I have trapped myself in. Um, Learning to work with the terrain, not spend hours and hours and hours flattening something to build a square, boring house. Sometimes you have to do that if you're going to make some kind of cool, huge new build. But sometimes I've got to realize that it's fun just to be a little chaotic and, instead of this big, huge place, I've got this little bitty, tiny, intimate little thing that I have to work with to get to work right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is what I've got to make myself start doing. So hopefully this gives you an idea of if you're struggling like I do with um, taking the time to just flatten everything out, try to make yourself go outside your comfort zone and build up in a tree. I did some of the trees. I mean, they come in all different sizes. I mean, you can put four together to get the big, huge trees, and just try to think a different dimension, a different level of building instead of just building flat and kind of, just monotonous. So, yeah, I think I'm going to work on this and see what I come up with. So, I will see you next time with Learning to Build with me, and hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'm so out of here. Bye, guys.